You are back on the Mountain Morning Show. I am joined by local author Sage Steadman, co-author of Upon Destiny's Song. I am so thrilled to introduce this book to you guys. If you haven't had a chance to get your hands on it yet, welcome to the show, Sage. How are you today?
Good, thanks for having me.
Very good, and I'm so pleased to have you here. This is such a fascinating book. It is based off of Walking in Obedience, this story, and you guys have kind of integrated that into the written form, and it's been quite powerful, those reviews I have read about it, and one that has touched many people because it's true. It's based off of a true story. So tell me about Upon Destiny's Song.
Upon Destiny's Song follows one family as they begin in Denmark and they immigrate to Utah. And it follows a little girl, a 10-year-old girl named Anna Marie, and some of the experiences that she has, and looks at some of her later life experience as well. And then we also have Mike Erickson. It's his ancestor. So we've interwoven his search for his ancestors because he had a lot of amazing experiences, and it helps us understand what it means to us today.
Wow. So share with us, maybe if you could, one of those experiences to give us an idea of how you've interwoven his background, his ancestry into this and brought it to life on the pages here.
Well, one of the things that we talk about, because he was involved in the filming of Walking in Obedience, and so he walked the grounds that they walked during similar conditions, which were snowstorms, pulling a handcart. And so he had a lot of powerful experiences of how what they had to deal with. And, we talk about that in the book as well, as far as what they had to deal with and how horrific it really was. And that's one of the things that drew me to writing this story, was because I've been inundated with pioneer information my whole life growing up in Utah, and I never really understood them or had a connection with them until I started reading their journals and realized how hard the experiences were and how they weren't perfect people either. And I really wanted to write a book that was relatable to audiences today, because I complain if my Wi-Fi is not working, and to think about these people going through the experiences they did and never complaining just didn't seem realistic. And just being able to see their story in a real way that I could understand was really important for me to see and to write about as well.
Sage, tell me about the research project. I mean, Mike being the descendant of this family, of this man, did he have that before you guys partnered together, or how exactly did that work?
Yes, he'd been doing research for about 10 years. He'd, like I said, walked the trails. He'd gone to Denmark to get information, read tons of books, tons of journals, pieced a lot of stuff together. And so by the time that I came onto the project, he had a lot of information already. But it was important for me to also understand the times, so I got to, do all the research he did, read all the journals and books and stuff like that, so I could understand what they went through.
That's incredible. So I love how you guys were able to partner on this and to really bring it to life. How important is it? I mean, for those of us native to Utah, who live in Utah, obviously, like you said, we've kind of been inundated with a lot of this pioneer history, because it's a huge part of our state's development, of course, and one that we're very proud of, quite frankly. And why do you think this is so valuable for people to hear stories like this in the context that you've written them, and to hear what Mike and what you have been able to do together in terms of presenting this to the public?
Okay. Well, one of the things for me is, I am always looking forward and always looking at what I want to create next and feeling like I don't have enough. And it's easy for me to forget that the foundation that I'm standing on was built by someone else, and it was built by the people that came before us. And it just made a huge difference for me to not only see that foundation that was created for me, but also to realize, well, the choices I'm making are going to create a ripple effect for generations, and what's that going to be?
That's incredible. And you are exactly right with that. It's something where we could all do well to hark back to our ancestry and kind of see what we've built upon and where we're going. Really, that's the idea. Where am I going from here? And as a writer, as a local Utah author, I'd like to know, what do you enjoy most about writing, and what interested you in the process in the first place? Because it can be a very difficult process from what I hear, because what you are putting on the page is in essence a very close part of you,
Right.
and you're just kind of displaying it for the world to see. What is that like?
Well, with every story, in order for me to write it, I have to be in love with the characters, and that's what it is for me, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. I do fall in love with the characters, and their story becomes so important to me and so moving that I can't not tell it. So the process of writing, it can be laborious, but it's very easy for me because I'm just so in love with the story and the people that I have to do it.
So you're doing it out of that passion to share a story.
Absolutely.
I love that, because I oftentimes have a difficult, I guess, time trying to. Well, we have people out there that do it just basically to get their name out there and in hopes of having a bestseller or something like that. So I always enjoy hearing people like you that do it for the passion of it, because you absolutely enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And also, what advice would you give to other authors out there who are looking to put something together that can have an effect on, their community, their neighbors, in the way that you guys are doing with this book?
I would say just don't give up. I think that's the hardest thing, especially when you're writing a book, because it takes years to write it. And at some point in the process, you're going to be like, is there any point to me doing this? Should I just give up? Like, is anyone going to care? And you just got to go back to what you love about it and focus on your love for it and just keep going and hope that someday it will affect and touch other people.
Very good. Well, where can we find the book? And we want to mention too, there's a CD in the back of it, which is pretty special. Tell me about this.
Well, we've got music integrated with the story, and so we've included some of those songs with the book. And then we're also selling the DVD with some of the books as well. You can get that online at our website, upondestinysong.com. And then we're also selling them at Costco, Amazon, wherever LDS books are sold, and iTunes.
Excellent. Well, Sage, thank you for joining us
having me
here this morning. We really appreciate your time, and good luck with the book, and say hi to Mike for us as well.